Tempers flared, emotions ran high, and the Houston Rockets found themselves in hot water after a fiery showdown with the Sacramento Kings. The fury of the Rockets spilled out in a game full of tension during a difficult 120-111 loss to the Kings. From on-court conflicts to post-game drama, the consequences captured everyone's attention more than simply the score. Following their contentious behavior both during and after a difficult 120-111 defeat to the Sacramento Kings on Tuesday, the NBA has fined Houston Rockets head coach Ime Udoka, as well as players Alperen, Şengün, and Tari Eason. The league's comment on the fines and their justifications set off debates on player and coach behavior in the thick of competition. Tensions peaked in the last minutes of the Rocket loss. Renowned for his aggressive attitude, head coach Ime Udoka has clearly disagreed with the officiating. As stated by the NBA, Udoka has been fined $50,000 for confronting and directing profane language toward a game official, failing to leave the court in a timely manner after being ejected, and publicly criticizing the officiating during his post-game press conference. After a contentious incident involving Rockets center Alperen Şengün, Udoka's irritation peaked. Udoka thought Domantas Sabonis made several uncalled fouls during a Şengün drive. When referee John Goebel gave him a technical foul for his complaints, his demonstrations picked up speed. Not bothered, Udoka got in Goebel's face, received a second technical, and was thrown out. Udoka's passionate feelings persisted into the post-game press conference even after he was removed from the court. The coach addressed the missed calls in traditional Ime Udoka fashion without sugarcoating. Missed calls, right in front of you, blatant missed calls, he told reporters. You overlook the obvious ones standing in front of you while calling ticky-tack moving displays and small objects like that. On the drive and layoff, Alpy fouled a few times. They don't call it. Get some fucking spectacles. Open your eyes, I advised Goebel. Udoka clarified that his reaction was only motivated by his irritation over the apparent lack of justice, so discounting the idea that his outburst was an attempt to defend his players. I wasn't about stating something for the team, Udoka stated. Take your emotions and sensitivity out of it, then name the game the correct path. Clearly, whoever it was, John Goebel saw it and did not report it. I informed him about it. The consequences did not end with Udoka. Alperen Şengün paid $15,000 for an incident involving improper language directed at a spectator following the game. Şengün was clearly frustrated all through the game since he had 2 technical fouls and was thrown out already. One of Şengün's technicals came during the game following his conversations with referees over a no call he felt ought to be a foul. This event set Udoka off and resulted in the coach being kicked out. Şengün's post-game argument with a supporter brought him an extra fine after spending the rest of the game in the locker room. The circumstances of the exchange are unknown. Tari Eason, on the other hand, was punished more severely. The NBA fined him $35,000 for tossing a towel and aiming obscenities at a supporter. Kelly Iko of The Athletic says Eason was headed toward the guest tunnel when a fan heckled him. Eason answered by yells of obscenities and tossing his towel at the fan. Then he tried to face the spectator by climbing into the stands, but security stopped him before things got more out of hand. This is not the first sanction the NBA has imposed on the Rockets this season. Earlier, $50,000 fines were imposed on Rocket guard Fred VanVleet for offensive remarks aimed at officials. Similar behavior has also resulted in fines to other coaches throughout the league, including Doc Rivers of the Bucks and Mike Brown of the Kings. Rivers paid a $25,000 fine for publicly disparaging officiating. Brown was fined $35,000 for aggressively pursuing a game official during live play. For the Rockets, this episode falls during an otherwise really remarkable span. Coming into Tuesday's game, Houston had turned around remarkably for a squad that had suffered in past seasons. 10 of their last 12 games had been victories. A victory versus Sacramento would have made Houston the first club in the Western Conference to go flawless in group play during the NBA Cup, a remarkable achievement. The Rockets are still moving toward the quarterfinals, thereby sustaining hope for the mid-season competition even with the loss. This sequence of events begs more general issues regarding the balance in the NBA between professionalism and enthusiasm. Although Udoka's fierce attitude and readiness to defend his team are commendable, advocacy comes with a thin line separating it from sportsmanship. Players like Şengün and Eason also have to focus their frustrations more constructively, as their behavior could eclipse their on-court performance. The fierce Houston Rocket game against the Sacramento Kings was fiery all around, not only in the last minutes. A turning point occurred in the second quarter, when tempers boiled and resulted in technical fouls for the Kings' De'Aaron Fox and the Rockets' Dillon Brooks and Jabari Smith Jr. This mid-game suspense highlighted the emotional and physical struggles fought on the court that evening. Early on, an athlete noted for his fiery attitude and aggressive defense found himself in foul trouble. One major contributing reason to the Rockets' difficulties was his mere 24-minute time on the court. With nearly 4 minutes left in the game, Brooks fouled out finally, clearly leaving Houston's defense and energy short in the crucial last moments. Although the Rockets' energy usually acts as a catalyst, Brooks' foul problems in this game draw attention to a constant struggle players like him face, straying from playing hard to avoid fines. His absence in crunch time underlined how expensive foul trouble can be for important players, since it reduced Houston's prospects of a comeback against the Kings. Rising Rocket star Jabari Smith Jr. also found himself in the heart of the mounting intensity of the game. His technical foul in the second quarter captured the obvious annoyance among Houston's players as calls seemed to contradict them. Although Smith's enthusiasm is admirable, the episode reminds us of the emotional toll such games may cause young players. One of the team's fundamental elements, Smith's ability to direct that enthusiasm into targeted play, will be absolutely vital for the Rockets' future success. These high-stakes games give players like Smith great learning chances to hone their emotional fortitude against hardship. De'Aaron Fox kept highlighting for the Kings why he is among the best guards in the NBA. Fox kept his cool and led his team with both scoring and playmaking, even though he himself picked up a technical foul. For Sacramento, his capacity to remain tuned in despite the intensity of the game proved crucial, since it emphasizes the leadership and composure that have made him a pillar for the Kings. Fox's performance was a model for managing the highs and lows of professional basketball, as it was so different from the Rockets' challenges of keeping composure. The Rockets have a lot to consider once the dust settles on this contest. Unquestionably, their performance this season has been outstanding. Their team has grown, as seen by an amazing run of wins. Still, this kind of game emphasizes the need to keep discipline and focus even under emotionally intense circumstances. The Rockets have a great chance to change the story with the approaching NBA Cup quarterfinals. Their tenacity, cooperation, and court skill will dominate headlines instead of technical fouls, ejections, and fines. This is an opportunity to demonstrate that their recent success is not a fluke and that they can challenge the top in the league. The penalties from this game go beyond only the scoreboard. Houston's flow was upset by the technical fouls and ejections. The fines imposed on coaches and players act as a sobering reminder of the implications of losing control. For a team that is developing, these events provide an opportunity for learning, a chance to advance both personally and in a group. Particularly, head coach Ime Udoka finds it difficult to establish the attitude for his squad. Reputed for his fierce enthusiasm, Udoka has to reconcile supporting his teammates with controlling his emotions. His leadership will be crucial to guarantee that the Rockets concentrate their efforts where they must count: playing winning basketball. The Rockets have every cause to be hopeful, even with the difficulties of this game. Their most recent run of success indicates that they possess the ability to compete at a top level. The knowledge gained from this game can spur even more improvement by guiding the squad toward the poise and discipline required to perform under duress. The NBA Cup quarterfinals provide the ideal forum for the Rockets to establish themselves. Through directed play and avoidance of technical fouls and altercations, they can keep building on their momentum and confirm their position as a rising Western Conference force. The emphasis has to go back to their outstanding on-court performance as Houston advances. Though they serve as a reminder of the difficulties in juggling intensity and discipline, The altercations and fines from this game don't define the team's course. The Rockets have an opportunity to make a statement about their resilience and character as much as their skill, with the NBA Cup quarterfinals looming ahead. For now, the fines and technical fouls will act as a pricey lesson in restraint of emotions. Whether this season marks a turning point in the Rockets' path to perennial challenger will depend on their capacity to learn from these events and develop as a team. The Rockets may have taken a hit this time, but their potential remains undeniable. What do you think about the fines and the league's response? Should the Rockets channel this fire into their game or keep their emotions in check? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates and insider takes on all things NBA.